Although I will say what's interesting, especially over the course of the last couple of years, is Brian has surprised us when Ted Thompson was still around and in charge. Like you could set your watch by the type of
That's
player.
honestly what inspired this question when I
Right.
looked back at Ted's track record, and I was
Right.
like, man, there was a type. There was a
A
type
billion
there.
percent. And you knew it and you could set your watch by it. And if you fell outside of those thresholds, forget it for the most part. Right. And with Brian, he's been it's seemingly a little bit more willing to kind of break that mold a little bit, maybe go outside some expected stuff. The Matthew Golden selection kind of fits that mold in the sense
I was
of
literally about to say, I was like, man, you're just segueing this perfectly into
it's true because like for the longest time in Green Bay, the MO was we got to draft, and this goes back, I'm talking to Ron Wolf coming in the door back in the early 90s, as far as we want receivers that are over 6'1", they're around 220, that can take a hit over the middle and work on some of these stick slant routes against linebackers, right? Who come screaming safeties across the middle, that they can take that pounding and get some yards after contact, etc. That has been their MO forever. Inevitably, there'd be some big wide receiver who's at the Senior Bowl, and you're like, oh, well, he's on the Packers board. There's zero doubt. So, but then you look at the last couple drafts, 2 years ago with Jaden Reed, and now this year with Matthew Golden, they certainly don't fit the traditional kind of thresholds that the Packers have looked for at the position. But man, I think, to a point, Brian has gotten to a spot where he says, I care way more about the guy as a football player than I do as a prospect and or an athletic threshold.